Good morning, people. Welcome to another spooky episode. Today is a video that has been requested. Someone made a comment with the question if I could do a video about the most haunted places that I have visited. And yes, I can do that. I actually love this because it gives me a chance to look back at old footage, because I'm going to put that in while I speak about the different places. So every time I speak about a place, you guys are going to see footage so that you guys can get a little feeling. Please share in a comment if there is something that you pay attention to. So let's just jump into the spookiness. So the first place we're going to talk about today is the haunted Queen Mary. I went here with Amanda in 2016, 17. I had heard many stories about how haunted the place was. I had seen episodes from Ghost Adventures. I had seen other YouTubers going there and capturing things. So I really wanted to go there myself. And we went there just to visit the place. We didn't stay overnight because Amanda wasn't really comfortable with that because she's not really into the haunted stuff, but I am. And my goal in the future is definitely to spend a night here. Definitely. That is something that is going to happen. I want to go back because I remember the feeling was strange, but I didn't feel the haunting as I thought I would. And it might be this typical expectation, I guess you can say, that it's evil, haunted or evil, yeah, the energy is evil. But I didn't feel that at all. But I remember when we went to the propeller room, the energy was funky. It was very weird, like, well, yeah, like a pressure kind of thing going on. I remember that was actually the creepiest. There was a lot of audio voices, and one thing that stands out is this little girl saying hello. And I will link the video so that you guys can go have a look at it if you want to hear the voices, but there's so many voices. There's even a dog, and it's so funny because I remember that there's this guy, we're walking down the hallway, and there is this guy talking to us, tour guide, calling him dog or something like that. I can't remember it specifically, but something like that. And you can hear this dog in the background, and there's no dogs on this ship. No. So that was, that was very strange. There was a light flickering, I remember. The tour guide was very awesome. Oh, another thing that I remember is the sick bay. That was creepy as well. There was something around or about that area that creeped me out, which makes sense with, the sick people was there. I remember there was even this information on the wall about the people, like how they died, how old they were, where they came from, and I remember there was people from Denmark as well. I'm trying to dig out as much history about these places as I can. There is a lot of dark history when it comes to Queen Mary. Another thing that I remember is we went to the propeller room, I believe it's called, and there is a story about a man getting stuck in one of the doors. He should haunt that place. I remember I went there alone because Amanda didn't want to go down there. But I just did it very fast. But I remember that there was a moment where I felt dizzy. And when I looked back at the footage, I saw that it was when I pass that door, which is very interesting. It's so interesting. There's just so many things. I think I actually have 3 parts of the visits. So I will link the part 2, I believe it is, because that is where most of the things happens. But there is a lot of other things happening in the other videos as well. But Queen Mary is number 1 because it's, you know, it's Queen Mary. There is a haunted pool area that we didn't went into. I know that you can get in there with the tours that they're doing, but we didn't went there. There's just so many stories, and the tour guide was so good at explaining them. And you're going to hear all the stories in the tour because I filmed everything. But let me know if you guys want me to go back at some point and film there again. So the next one is Mortuary. I hope I pronounced that right. This is actually in connection with another, which is going to be number 3 on this list. But thinking about it, this place should actually have been number 1 because the energy here was, oof. I get the shivers just thinking about the energy. That was the strangest energy that I have felt. There was voices that we captured. There was blurriness in the video. There was this draining table that the guys that we explored with, you know, pulled out, and one of the guys was like laying on it. It was just extremely creepy and, oh, you know, and it's actually from this place. Maybe not this specific area. Well, I guess you never know. But the asylum that we visited, after that place, I got this very nasty spirit attached to me. And normally I'm very careful with doing like cleansing and having obsidian or black tourmaline or something like that on me, or white sage for after. But I completely scattered that at this trip. That was just, you know, yeah, that was a big lesson for me. Lesson learned from this trip. There's just so many beautiful memories from Ireland, from the places that we visited. So if you are into exploring and like cemeteries, because there was a big cemetery that we visited as well, they are all on my vlog channel. But I think the most creepy thing about this place is the stuff that was left there, with the tables, with the, there was just so many things. There was foundation and, you know, stuff to remove hair with in the drawer. The guys even found this book, you know, I didn't touch it, I didn't read in it because that's, you know, that's obviously private. It was just, the energy was weird. There was a lot of interesting things, a lot of beautiful things in there. I don't know what you call that, but the thing that you put smoke in, I think that is what they use with, is it white sage or something? You know, you see that in movies. But the back room where the tray was in, there's this blurry spot you can see. It's just, it's so random. And the noises, I remember there was a point where there was this very creepy noise, like almost a demonic voice. If I would have heard that in real, I would have been running out there like a little girl. I'm telling you, I would have. The Scorpio in me loves to go to those creepy places and explore. There was also holy water in there, by the way. Yeah, I remember there was this holy water standing on the table. Like almost like, you know, this is for you, you should use that. I mean, I would probably have needed that with whatever I dragged home. There was even still electricity there. The same with the asylum, there was still electricity there. And I think that part of this asylum is actually still like in function, like there's still people. So it was very lucky that we didn't get caught at all. but it's just, there's just something that's extremely creepy about this place. The noises, the feelings, the things that we found. It's, yeah, number 2. So number 3 is the Asylum. They do call it the X Asylum because it's shaped as an X. And I think it called something about the Connacht District Lunatic Asylum. It opened in 1833 with accommodation for 150 patients. And during that time, they thought that they would never, reach that number. But it got overfilled. There was too many patients and they got treated poorly. It was overcrowded. And even though they tried to actually make the place bigger, it never was big enough for all the patients, which is so sad. And there's something about back then in Irish history, there's something about that there was not enough places in prison. So some of these people who actually was supposed to go to prison got sent to this lunatic asylum. Which, thinking back at that, makes sense why I had so strange or so dark, almost want to say entities following me home or evil spirits, because it felt like that. It really felt like that. And the law refused to help the asylum. They didn't give a beep about them. There was even some families that never saw their loved ones again. They wasn't allowed to come visit or anything. So people were just left alone. People committed suicide. People got killed there. There was so many brutal things. And it is connected with this hospital. I actually can't remember if we ever found that, because this place is big. And we didn't have, all day to explore this place. But it has been many things over the year. Many things. Like I said, prisoners has been there. And the hospital closed the doors for the final time in 2013, which is actually not long ago. And like I mentioned, there was also partly electricity in this place. There was also another place that we actually visited that was connected to. I mean, this area was huge. There were so many buildings that we explored. And let me tell you, it was so frightening just getting into this place. So frightening getting into this place. We had to, first of all, get over a huge wall where the guys were like, making sure that we didn't fall and break our necks. And then we had to climb a huge window. And I caught myself. Kiri caught herself on the leg. I was bruised up after this trip. It was easier to get out of this place than in, let me just tell you. It was just so creepy. I remember that Dave, the guy with the white t-shirt, explained that there is a bathtub somewhere with bones in it. We never found it, but he claimed that was real. If it was human bones, I don't know. But walking around in that place, it was just... I mean, I love stuff like this. This is... My exploring heart is so grateful that I got to visit this place, get into this place. Me and Kiri would never, ever have gotten into this place by ourselves. No, it was creepy. There was so many things in there. Wheelchairs, weird chairs placed in the dark room, facing the wall or facing the big room. There was candles. There was noises. There was like yells. You could hear yells. And there's no one. There's no one there. So, yeah. Me and Kiri even got lost, which was so frightening because we went down to look at the basement area, but we never really reached reached the basement, but we found the file room where all the patients' files were, which is so creepy. I don't remember that we actually looked through them so much because, again, oh no, don't want to go there. But there were so many voices. So many voices. It's crazy. And I didn't know anything about the place going into the place. So doing the research after and looking back at the footage, I'm like, how could you be so cool and collected? It's just crazy. But first of all, we found this very creepy red ball in the hallway. But we also found like a Christmas card. That's what it's called, yeah. A Christmas card that someone had. It's just, it's mental. It's so mental what we found in that place and the energies. So this is definitely one of the creepy places. Definitely. And like I said, we didn't even get to explore it all. There's so many things. So many things in this place. Another thing that fascinated me about this place was the washing room. I don't know why, but this place was, that area, it just had something. There was even clothes and everything in there. It was very fascinating. Very fascinating. The next place, I'm not sure what it has been other than nuns lived there at some point. I think it has been different things. And we did get told a little bit of the story because we actually met the owners of the place. We couldn't get in, and apparently the owners had like security footage, like so they saw us, so they caught us.
We wouldn't do that. We wouldn't come inside the place to be damaged. We're just down here for the history, that's all.
What did they say?
They just give out this
I've never been so frightened in my entire life than that moment. I was like, oh my god, we're going to jail. And obviously they were not happy in the beginning, but we actually got allowed in.
20 minutes later.
This would have been the original one. So I take it when you got it was a lot worse condition. Well, there was all the little beds and all the stuff. There was all little. These were all little rooms. You can see where the towel was dry and divided up. You see these down? Yeah.
So there is a little bit footage inside. I didn't film anything, but I remember Kiri did, so I actually used her footage. I'm thinking back on this place a lot. There's something that for some reason connects me with this place. Like I feel drawn to actually go there again for some reason. And there's a lot of voices in the footage. A lot. It was such a fun trip just going there. I remember there was a guy stalking us. There was this old lady trying to get the sheep out of the road. That is just Ireland, right? This is just countryside. Oh my god. And there were so many synchronicities because this old lady told us that her son lived in Denmark or had worked in Denmark. It was just so funny how the synchronicities show up. That lady was so sweet. But yeah, the nunnery, it was so beautiful. That place was beautiful. And the people who owned it was trying to restore it. You know, one day I would love to donate money for them so they can restore this place properly because it is so beautiful. There was this church or chapel kind of thing that they had. Wow. With this, you know, where you do your confessions. I know they had that as well there. It was so fascinating. So fascinating being there. It almost looked like a castle. It might have been why I was so drawn to that place. I remember there was this staircase leading up from the outside, and I was, me and Heights were not good, but Kiri went up there all the way, walking across where she could see out. I was so frightened walking across that. I actually think I didn't do it. So it is thanks to Kiri that we have the footage from that area. I remember there's even a voice being like, careful, when we went up the stairs, because it didn't feel that stable. It felt very shaky. Yeah, very, very shaky. But the place was beautiful. I remember at some point we walked outside, and in the footage you can hear like people talking, and it actually feels like nuns talking with each other. Oh, yeah. I wish that I had more information about this place. Another thing I remember is that the guy actually told us that they were not the ones that put the heavy-duty metal on the windows. The government did that. And I remember that the guy told us that he wanted it to be removed because obviously a building needs light, right? If there is no light, it becomes moldy and disgusting, and the government didn't allow that for some reason. I can't remember, but he explained why. Because it really looked like, people didn't want anyone to get into this building. I have never seen anything like it. But there was this staircase, there was this garden area that was so overgrown, and I remember there was something about a voice that I captured in that area as well. A hiss or a growl, something like that. It's always hard to tell because, again, either spirit voices are very slow or they are very fast. But this place is fascinating. It's fascinating. And oh my god, it's haunted. Let me tell you, I felt the nuns were still there. There was so much energy inside this building, but I feel like it's very protected energy. It didn't feel as creepy as the other places. It feels more protected, like the nuns are still protecting this area, this beautiful house. Like I said, I would love to go back there. Number 5 is the Hellfire Caves, located in West Wickham Bay in UK. This place is haunted. Oh boy, it's haunted. The voices that we captured here was crazy and scary at the same time. Oh, there is some creepy things going around in there, I will tell you. Didn't feel it that much when we went or walked through, I will say. There was some areas where you could feel the energy was strange, but it's also like a tourist attraction, right? So there's other people walking around there as well. I think it would have been a different story if you're there alone. And I remember we actually tried to see if we could get it, like stay overnight, but that was expensive, so that didn't happen. But maybe in the future. A thing I remember with this place, with the Hellfire Cave, is the story of Suki. So there is the story, legend, about the Lady in White. In the 1800s, this lady called Suki worked as a barmaid in the George and the Dragon in West Wickham Bay. And this is where we stayed, and we actually connected with Suki. We got a lot of orbs flying around in the hotel room. That is also on my channel. And she was supposed to be married. She thought so, because he fell in love with this gentleman who traveled there and stayed at the hotel. So there were some young guys who got jealous of this. So they made this fake letter that was supposed to be from this gentleman. And they lured her in the caves. And they laughed at her, and obviously she got so angry that she threw rocks at them. So the guys, the young fellas, did the same. And unfortunately, one of the stones hit her in the head. And she fell to the ground and died. So she is haunting the caves. It is interesting because there's also the story about, what is it, George? I can't remember what his name is. His heart was left in the caves. There's so many stories, about this cave system before it became a part of the Hellfire Club. But he left his heart in this urn. Is that what you call that? What do you call that? I can't remember what you call that now. And he answered a question that I asked, so you can go watch the video. It's so fascinating. So there is a lot of stories when it comes to this cave. Like I said, the Hellfire Club has been there, which is also a very creepy legend. It's not a legend because that was real. Aleister Crowley, if people know who that is, he was there. He was a part of that. They had sacrifices there. They had naked parties. Oh, there was just so many things. I remember there is a story that obviously, the ladies of the night came to the caves dressed as nuns. And they were not nuns when the party started, let me tell you that. I think there's even this costume. There's costumes down there. There's figures, representing the people who was a part of the Hellfire Club. But there's so many stories about this Hellfire Club. What they did down there, who knows? What did they sacrifice? A lot of questions that we will probably never get the full answers to. What happens in the Hellfire Caves stayed in the Hellfire Caves. The next place we went to is an abandoned house in Denmark. And we went there because Henriette knew the place. She lived close by when she was a kid, and there is a very, very, very creepy story connected with this place. That includes a dog. There's something I'm very scared about since I was a child after watching Pet Cemetery. It's dead dogs and cats and whatever we have coming back. That's scary. I am explaining the full story, but basically Henriette's mom hit the man who lived there's dog, and she went out, and it was, the car was smashed up and the dog was dead. So she left to go to the guy's house, right, to tell, hey, I'm sorry, I hit your dog. And when she was there, the dog was there. The freaking dog was alive. There was no injuries on it. And she was like, oh my God. And she went, obviously back there was nothing. There was no evidence that she hit the dog. The story is very creepy. And there is even, at some point in the video, where you can hear this dog. You can hear a dog. There is a lot of voices. I think there was a female contacting us because I used the spirit box there. I think we went there 2 times actually. It's a very, I love the place. For some reason, it's just very beautiful. We even went there when it was a full moon's night, I remember. We were sitting in the dark in one of the bigger rooms, trying to contact whoever was living there. And there was this big window, and when we looked out, because it was evening, you could see the full moon. It was so beautiful. And there was this attic that was just filled with very interesting things. It was a windy day. It was very creepy. That place was creepy. And it's one of those places where we again jumped in a window and figured out that we could have used the door. It's just so typical us. It's so typical. But I really like this place. It was creepy. It was, especially because of the dog story. But the way that it looked, because everything was falling apart, and again, the wind was blowing, the destroyed curtains, there was old newspapers, there was things outside in the barn. I think we even found old cars that was left there. Very fascinating place. Hello. The next place is a Danish asylum kind of thing. It was a boys' school at some point, and then it was orphanage. Is that what you call that? It's called Børnehjem in Danish. And I went here many years ago, maybe 20 years ago, with my brother, because he actually did an investigation there. And he got a very negative, bad spirit attached to him. This place is pure evil. It was pure evil when it existed, because the guy who owned this place, I don't know what you call him, the guy who, was the boss, was mutilating the children. He was hitting them. There was so much violence in this place. It is from 1906, I believe. And I remember there is this story that there was a shed, I believe that's what you call that, like a little house outside, because it's surrounded by forest. And the children that misbehaved got put out there overnight, without food, without water, without anything. There's so much evil in this place. And I unfortunately don't have, there's pictures I'm going to show you guys. There's pictures from back then when we went there. I remember I did a photo shoot with Amanda while my brother and someone else did like the investigation. I have never been there at night, but me and Henriette went there because they tear this place down, because people didn't want to be reminded about this place anymore. So we went there while it was happening. It was actually very sad to see it get teared down, but I also understand it. I do understand it. And the sad thing is, or the scary thing is, that they're actually working on building like a hotel there, which, just do that, because it's probably going to be haunted as well. The woods surrounded this place is haunted as hell. You can hear children crying and screaming at night, and oh my god, I don't want to go there at night. There's many places where I'm not afraid, like the Haunted Queen Mary, the Asylum, and things like that. Going to this place at night, no way I'm going to walk around in the forest. Again, children's spirit and animal spirit, that scares me. But when we're sitting there watching them tear the place down, we did a little spirit box session, and the things that we heard. One thing I remember is that we heard evil. This was just freaky. This is, again, it's hard to put these in numbers or, categorize them, because they are all very, very haunted and very scary in their own way.
Don't rip your phone.
So the next one is a German war place, military base, I don't know what to call it. This was a scary experience, mostly because of the guy chasing us out. I have never tried to get out of a window this fast. This was so scary. I remember that Henriette even got injured while trying to climb out this window. And the most scary thing is hearing this guy running down the stairs and us trying to get out. Oh man. And we were surrounded by a lot of different buildings. So, we didn't just abandon the area. We actually went to another building and explored. But the moment we wanted to get out of the place, we felt it was locked up. I freaked out a little. I will not lie, I freaked out. Because the guy had like tried to trap us in there. But he put this wire kind of thing that Henriette got up. So we ran out. The adrenaline was pumping. I'm telling you guys, it was pumping. I don't have that much history, but I know that Henriette told something about a guy that got shot somewhere in one of these buildings. I don't know if it's in the building that we went to, but someone got shot there. And obviously, it's Germany. It's, you know, from the World War, right? So there is probably a lot of hauntings going on there. There was a lot of evil going on there. And it was so fascinating walking around there. Just seeing the buildings. We went up on the, is it called the second floor? The whole place was a little unstable, so just doing that was scary. But we found this weird room where it kind of looks like they put people to get the truth out of them, right? I don't know what to call that now. That was creepy. That place up there was hella creepy. It had a weird energy. The down part that we explored was actually more relaxed, but the top of the floor, wow. I think I remember we found something, but I can't remember what it was. There was something we found. And we are probably never going to go back to this place because it is surrounded by other buildings, like a factory, I believe, and there's company buildings around, so yeah, no.
She managed to eat 6 hearts before she was captured and burned as a witch.
The second last place is the Bat Caves. I enjoyed exploring this place so much. I mean, this place is haunted. It is the oldest cave system in Scandinavia. It is 1,500 years old. There is so many hauntings and stories from back in the days. There is a story about a witch that killed children that lived there. There is a love story actually, and I'm pretty sure that we actually captured voices and we could get into contact with the guy. There was this thief, I can't remember what he was called now, but there was this thief that was hiding down there with his I think it was the daughter of someone who was wealthy that fell in love with this thief, and they lived there, and he got shot. I believe he got shot in the caves. So they are haunting that place. It's just very fascinating. We captured so many voices. There was so much activity, and I have different videos from this place because we went through all the cave system where we captured so many voices. There was a spirit that followed us that actually guided and helped us, and I didn't realize that until I was editing it and heard him speak, and he said a whole sentence in an old-fashioned way of speaking Danish, which was so fascinating. I never ever experienced anything like that. There was also something that was a little, like at times you could feel there was something that was a little bit more nasty down there, but I feel that we are pretty well protected by the good spirits from this place. But this is a place that I definitely want to go back to because I didn't realize how haunted this place was. I saw another YouTuber who went there who captured crazy things there. If I would have known that it was this haunted, I might have thought a little bit different about sleeping there. But now I want to go back. I really want to go back and explore this place and yeah, feel the energy, see if I can capture more, because we did a lot of readings there actually. It was just so fascinating. This place is amazing, and like I said, you can stay overnight here. You can sleep there, and it's actually not expensive at all. You have the whole entire forest, you have this fire pit outside. We made fire, we ate sandwiches. It was creepy, you know, when it was dark, because there was a lot of noises in the forest, but it was just, you know, I just love it. There's two sides of me when it comes to all this, because that I am scared of it, but I also love it. The last place is a castle in Denmark called Harridslevgaard Slot. This place is haunted. There's so many stories about this place. There is a connection with a witch, like a male witch, an evil German soldier. Like he was higher up on the, I don't know, I think it might even be connected with the SS. Is that what it's called? I can't remember. Yeah, he killed people there. He sacrificed, I think he sacrificed something. They found some skulls that's actually in this castle. We stayed overnight here and explored it. It was a full-on investigation. Kiri got pushed. Kiri's sister was like, I'm out of here, I'm gonna go to bed. She was so scared because of something that happened in one of the rooms where I saw a person standing behind her. A full-blown black figure stood behind her. Oh, there is a story behind a baby. They hear baby screams. There is this little baby beds, I don't know what you call that now. We got a lot of voices there, a lot of intelligent responses. So fascinating. There was a spirit that said something after me, and I think, what was it that I said? I said something, and I think it was an American word, and you can hear the spirit say it after me. And then there is this orb flying around. There were so many things. Gosh, I love this place. This is a place that we're definitely going to go back to, but it is also pretty expensive. We paid over 3,000 kronas to stay there overnight. And we're going to do that again. At some point, when I get the money, we're going to do that again. And we're going to really work through all night. But there was knocking on the windows, there was people whistling, is that what you call that? There was people like, that was physically touching, like you could feel people touch you, grab you. It's, oh my god. There is a story behind, I think it was a princess, because of this child, because I think that was the girl who got pregnant. We are explaining the story, but she got pregnant. And I don't know if it was her father who dragged her around the courtyard with his horse. So crazy. Another thing I remember is that we were standing outside and you could see these glowing eyes in the video. It's so creepy. So creepy. This place is beautiful and it's creepy. There was peacocks that sounded like cats. You know, sometimes while we were doing this investigation, you could just randomly hear them. There was so much communication with spirits in this place. There is a little girl haunting the place as well. I remember the owner was explaining that to us. There's just so much activity in this place. There was knockings. Oh my god, there was a lot of knockings. There was times where I was knocking on the floor and you could hear it back. You could see orbs going down on the table and then you heard knocks. It was mind-blowing. This place is absolutely mind-blowing. And it's sad that it's the last one, but like I said, it's hard to put numbers on them because each and every place that is a part of this video is haunted, creepy in a way. There has been spirit activity beyond what I would have imagined. And this is just the beginning, because I really want to go back to these places. I want to visit more places in the future. Just to capture the other world, right? To tell the story of the souls that are lost in some of these places. Because it's not only evil, there's also good spirits. There's spirits that are lost that we can guide home. That was the last one. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know in a comment. Also, let me know if you have visited a spooky place, or if you have any paranormal or spooky experiences with a place. I would love to know. But with that, I will see you guys in tomorrow's spooky video. I'm excited to see what we are going to be up to. Remember to like and subscribe for more magic, and I will see you guys tomorrow.